Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo is taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sirree, sonny. So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture. And here, I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15, 2 p.m. Photo number 2. Number 2. Even I know what that means. It was taken on the 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Photo number 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Order, order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I wanted to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there's only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself. Eh? You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. The camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to be. Can the witness explain this to the court? I don't understand this newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help! Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Sum up, you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper? Something the matter, Miss Oldbag? Ah, that's right. I just remembered something. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai. Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. Why didn't you just say so? Sigh. I see. Your testimony, please. The other person. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos, record on the security computer, and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonia, I've only just remembered it. Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination. Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. The other person. Why would you throw away the photo? So where's that? I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking. So press that for more details. How exactly determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part. For the most part? This is a murder trial, Mr. Oldbag. Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I? I think she's missing the point. Hold on, is this the same exact thing as I just did? Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? Never mind. I thought it was the same thing. A fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. No, they get information about the rehearsal from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day. Wait a second. Did you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gates so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, You must know there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The gray has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain. I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers. Kids? So on the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? Order. Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was a steel samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about 2nd or 3rd grade. Oh yes, well we see this type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him. A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade? I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. I'd like to take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information and no forgetting vital information this time. October 18th, 11:08 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Mr. WP? Yes? Tell me straight, were you really in the dressing room? You didn't go to the studio. I didn't go to the studio, I was sleeping, honest. So who was the steel samurai in the security photo? How should I know? The steel samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyway, could have walked in and taken it. Really? Epic voice crack. Really? No. What? You should take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone would want a steel samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? Doesn't look so good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick, what are we gonna do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we could get another day. Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose that on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sound like that. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on the matter? Prosecution thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studio was a boy roughly 10 years of age. The photo, we do have many not be hard evidence. But there is still no one else that could have committed the crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well, Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed the crime. Order. Interesting. Let's hear what you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great, as if the stakes weren't high enough. So who was this other person who committed the murder? The security lady, Miss Wendy Oldak, because she knows everything that he does. It was the old security lady. It was the security lady Wendy Oldak. Who? The steel samurai is dragging his leg in the picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper? Order! Is this true, Old Bag? Old Bag, not Miss Old Bag to you. Miss Old Bag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the samurai costume. That's led to the Studio 1 and the scene of the murder. Why would she go through that trouble wearing the steel samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew that the camera at the gate would take her picture. As she was in this costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see! Excellent detective reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Does he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this point. Dime. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't you just sit there and do something. What's my move, mate? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole new way. Don't give Granny a break. Press further. We want to crush her. The very same reason that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast down Miss Old Bag's actions on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Winbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one whose photo I erased. He's only a grade schooler, though. As you said, 2nd or 3rd grade, was it? That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10-second steps. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer. What? How could you be so sure? Oh, or is it to be nice to the kids it means you get Elders Day, whippersnapper? I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that the shows the boy could have committed the murder? Yes, I do. Want to be a photo? The murder weapon was a steel samurai. The samurai spear. The very spear shown here in the photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The windbag speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. The score will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy. What was her name? Something Old Bag. Something Old Bag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Old Bag before we continue. That is all. The court is adjourned. Yeah, we stole that for one day. No. Why? Wait a second. I'm not going to sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me? I'm talking. Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, you must know there's something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? By whom? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. My lips were sealed. Why were lips sealed? Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? They told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're gonna go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? Ain't you been really listening? You told me not to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the Old Bag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. So let's press everything. Why do you want to keep quiet? So you're told not to talk. That's right, by the studio and TV bigwigs, no less. Why didn't I hear about this? Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. There were other people. Who? Who were these people? Well, the director and the producer for starters. The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course. Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it. So, who were these? Where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime. They had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You got through the gate and all the way to the left. Path where the monkey's head was falling off. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I already asked all my questions, but... Sure, might as well take a break, whatever. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at the Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. The court is adjourned. So you managed to delay the case another day to find out who these bigwigs are. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Really, it's nothing. Or should I? We'll be going down to the studios and do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So Nick, have we figured out just who it was in the Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been Old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying some time back there. So it had to be the bad guy forbid to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor Old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks, guys. And thus that ends the trial on the first day. Yeah, so we have to do some more investigating. So until next time, as I put save. Bye.